motion with the palm. And if the person had you in a hold, you can strike back to front in an upward motion. Or you could dig your fingertips into that point as well. The last series of points that we cover are below the belly button. Below the belly button, between the belly button and the private area, we have 4 points in a row. Right? We don't have room to mark them all off, but we have one here, one over here, and we have basically one other one that's really important below that. And that gives us, again, a nice big region to strike in the bladder area. A good part about this, as we discussed earlier with the stomach muscles, the lower abdominals are thinner than the upper ones. So even if a person tightens their lower abdominals, they cannot take that blow. And if their bladder is full, they're going to pee on themselves. So again, step back if you hit that area. These points struck 2 angles, 45 degrees up, as in a front kicking motion. That's a prime target for the front kick. Or 45 degrees down, as in a punching. Maybe somebody was choking you, punch into that area, brings their head forward for a follow-up blow. In pressure point striking, we do not strike the groin area. There's a main reason for that is no matter who the person is, no matter what country they're in, if you strike a man in that region, he's going to go like this. So basically, you've wasted your shot. But what you'll notice is the bladder area, even when I protect here, this is still exposed. So if this is my target, he may think it's the groin and protect it, but I'm still going to hit what I'm aiming for. The groin is a great target, but you have a very limited chance of striking it. And also, the groin is what we call a pain target. It hurts a lot, but if a person's resistant to pain, they may not feel it. No matter whether they're resistant or not, when you strike the bladder points, they're going to arch forward, exposing their jaw and their neck for follow-up techniques. Okay, we're going to bring John in. We're going to demonstrate some of the body points and some of the techniques. There's a concept that's kind of important that we want to pay attention to. If his arm is outraised, his body points become sensitive. So imagine the nerve on his body connecting up into his arm, and when you lift it, this whole area becomes stretched out. When the arm is down, the neck becomes more sensitive. So if we were in a situation where he was grabbing and he was down, I would probably go for the neck region. But if I hit his arm first and stretched his arm back, that's when you'd want to come into the body area. So for maximum effect, we want to try to stretch the person out. Now, let's go with the first set of points that we did. We had the 3 points below the chest, approximately here, 1, 2, 3. And again, they're struck in an in and upward motion. So if he was to grab, you could pretty much, he has his arm extended, shoot this right in. And a very light tap, and his body starts to dip forward. We don't need a lot. Palm comes in this way. One of the primary targets for this is if he's throwing a punching technique and we block, and we can drive the punch or drive our elbow into that region. Dead in the center, we have the solar plexus, and we have the heart point. And again, we strike in and up. So if he was coming in with a punch, we blocked. If we wanted to shoot in and up, we would catch in an upward motion going towards his head, catching underneath his rib cage, this way or to the heart point. Or you could actually try to catch both of them, in and up. Now, being that he's shorter than me, I would not use this technique because I have to dip down. But most likely your attacker is going to be larger than you, and the angle should be perfect there. So again, remember, the person's taller, strike up. The person's shorter, I would use the other angle, which is this one striking down. And what you're going to notice is as you come in, his head comes forward. As his head comes forward, he's set up for one of the other techniques. So we have the solar plexus region, we have the rib cluster points. We're going to go to the elbow points, the ones next to the elbow. If his elbow's on his ribs, in front of it, we have the liver 13 point, and let's just move it this way. Behind it, we have the gallbladder 25 point. We're going to start with the rear one first. He was grabbing, let's say we're here, we need to release. We could actually just push our fingers in, or we can strike it to make his body arch backwards. The points in the front are similar to the rib cluster points in that they're struck in and up with the palm, but it's a very good application for a knee strike to fit in. So we're going to just turn him a little bit. So either you've blocked it or you've trapped him, and we could put the knee right into that region, shooting up that way. So we have the liver points on the side, we have the points in the back. The last area we have is basically below his belt. The best way to find it, if a person's wearing jeans, where the button is, that's point 1. And everywhere below that, you have 2 or 3 more points. It can be struck in an upward motion with a knee or with a front kick technique, or it can be struck in a downward motion. If he had both arms on me and I just wanted him to let go, I can shoot down, make him come down that way. This point becomes very important because when we go back to body motion, everything above his chest is going to make him step back. So let's say we found ourselves in a situation where we struck one of these points and he moved backwards. I can't hit him with my hand again, but when I come into the bladder point with the kick, not only am I going to be able to hit him, but it puts his head back in range for other shots. So basically, I'm working him like a puppet. This is an important point because this point brings him forward. So basically, I strike a point, I move him back, I strike a point, I bring him forward. Or if he was throwing a punch, let's say I wanted to get that point behind the jaw really good, maybe I would slap into that area. As he goes down, that sets my angle for the point behind the jaw. So sometimes what's going to happen is you're going to find a point that you really like to use, it works very well for you. You're going to set up your self-defense techniques based on how to access that point. And one way to get behind them is to step to the outside, bring them forward. Now you have the point behind the jaw, you have the point behind the head that you can follow up with. We're going to be demonstrating one of our instant knockout shots. Where we're going to be targeting is the stomach 9 point in the side of the neck. And what we're going to be using is our forearm. The reason for using the forearm is with little training, the swing of the forearm is a very powerful blow, and it doesn't have to be as focused as, let's say, using the edge of the hand or even the fingers or a punching technique. With this motion, this could come after blocking a punch, this could come off of a grabbing. For his safety, we're just going to demonstrate it off him grabbing. This way, we minimize the motion and nobody gets injured. So we're going to have John grab nice and tight. We're going to focus on this point. We're going to use the forearm, and we're going to bring him right down. All right, once we maintain grappling position, both arms are in position to strike him. So rather than bringing him to the ground with a throw, we're actually going to do a knockout technique involving the area around the temple, which are some points that we haven't really covered. We're going to slap. We have the temple, the corner of the eye, and the bridge of the eyebrow, which forms a nice big circle that's just going to get slapped. And on the other side, we're going to use the ridge hand to strike gallbladder 20. From grappling position, as we're searching for a move, this hand is free to strike here. This hand is free to strike here. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock up, we're going to bring him down, and we're going to show the basic knockout, and he's going to drop. Okay, the last point on the shoulder region is exactly at the apex of the trapezius muscle. So basically we divide his neck and his shoulder in half this way, and we divide it in half this way. And this is where we're going. And we could actually press it and get some effect. Because this is a big muscle, the muscle actually protects it and the point lies underneath it. So generally we want to strike it inward this way or using our forearm. If he was coming forward like to shoot to do the takedown, we would actually use our forearms on this point to stop him. Because of the angle, we may not knock him out, but what we'll do is stop his motion, which will allow us to set up something else. What we're going to do is just show this point the effect of it. We're going to have him throw a punch, we're going to block it, and we're just going to put some downward pressure. And the thing to watch for is his legs. Watch where his legs go. So as he comes in, we come down, and we drop him down. Okay, as previously explained, the more pressure points you hit, the more damage that you do. So if he were to grab me in a real situation, I would be using one of the arm points, one of the body points, or one of the leg points before I came to the jaw point. What that would do is it would make it actually weaker. But what I want to actually just show you is how, with no setup at all, this one point becomes very sensitive. So as he grabs, we're just going to come from this position. I'm going to go slow so I don't injure him. We're going to come up in the up and out direction. I'm going to have him bite down real tight so he doesn't hurt his teeth. All right, so I'm going to look straight. He's grabbing. We're not going to use a setup. We're going to come in, and it's going to bring him down. We sit him up. We have a special revival that we use to wake him back up a little. All right. Okay, at this point I'd like to go over the proper revival techniques. The purpose of the revival techniques is to wake your partner up if you do a knockout, but most importantly it's to make sure that he doesn't have any adverse effects. What can generally happen if you knock somebody out, they will wake up on their own, they won't just stay asleep forever, but when they wake up they're going to have headaches, their stomach's going to hurt, they're just going to feel almost like they have a hangover. With the proper revival, you're restoring energy, basically that you took away with the strike, and you eliminate that effect. The first type of revival is what we call arm revival. Basically, any of the arm points that we strike. When you strike it, what we're going to do is we're going to actually stop energy to that point. So we hit it, the arm goes to sleep. Now, he's feeling a pulsing right now. That hurts. The way we wake it up is we hit the exact same point with an open palm with approximately half the power with a slap. And then we massage the area. And we repeat that. Slap and massage it. And after you do that, he should have full use of his hand again. So the arm revival is basically simple. Whatever you hit it again, but you hit it with half the force, and instead of hitting it with a focused area, we hit it with a flat palm, and we just massage the area. Flat palm, massage the area. and that'll bring your partner's arm back. This way, when you're training, you hit those points, you can practice it more than once. As far as the head, the neck, the body, we do a technique like we did. We strike, he falls down. All right, he'll tend to just be laying down basically. The first thing we want to do is we want to sit him up. So we grab him by the head. Okay, now if he's really out, he won't fold his own legs, so you're going to fold his legs. We want to keep our knee in the base of his spine. We want to keep our hand on his head. Now if we struck him on this side, we want to revive on this side. If we struck him on this side, we revive on this side. Where we're going to be reviving is right next to the spinal cord. There's something called the bladder meridian. I'm going to show it on myself actually. Not over here, a little bit over, right in this line. This is called the wake-up nerve. Similar to the arm points, we're going to slap it and massage. Slap it and massage. At this point, he should be awake. He may still feel groggy, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb and forefinger, we're going to place it at the base of his back with the spine running in the center, and we're going to run our hand up his spine a couple of times. In Chinese medicine, they say all energy in the body is stored in the kidney region. And when you do this, according to the theory, you're bringing the energy back up into the head. Medically, most likely, you're just stimulating the nerves that go into the neck and head area, and it's waking him up. But either way, the function is what matters, not what causes it. After you finish that, to restore more energy, we're going to start with the hands. Again, in acupuncture and Chinese medicine, each finger controls a different part of the body. So for example, the pinky finger is considered the heart. The ring finger is considered what they call the pericardium. The index finger is the large intestine. So what you're going to do is you're going to pinch, starting at the pinky finger, and pull. Pinch, pull. You should feel like a popping sensation. If anybody ever got a Chinese massage before, this is what they do. They massage the points, they pop the fingers, and what that does is it wakes up and stimulates all of the nerves. And that covers the revivals. Okay, this finishes up the series on point location. In the first series, we covered the arm and the leg points. In this series, we covered the head, the neck, and the body. As explained before, don't do this at home without proper supervision. Always have an instructor on hand that knows how to do the revivals. And if you are going to work with a partner, exercise extreme care, very light contact. Remember that this is designed to work together. While the head and the neck points are the most fascinating, the ones that make people fall down, it's learning how to use the arm points and how to integrate the arms, the legs, the head, the body together that makes this a workable system. So again, the head and the neck points are the ones that everybody's fascinated with, but it's really learning everything that's going to make you a better martial artist. Whatever technique you're doing, it's going to involve striking somewhere that we've done today. If you're punching to the face, if you're hitting to the stomach, whatever you're hitting, alter it. Start working the pressure points. Pay attention to the angle and direction. Martial arts or self-defense is a variety of hand positions. We have palms, punches, elbows, all different angles that you can access that you can use to make these points more effective. So rewind the tape, look at it, find the angle and the direction, and then see what hand technique that you like to use to fit into there. And that's going to make your self-defense or martial arts system a better system for you to use.